All right, greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, coming to you, changing things up a little bit because I'm doing things solo. I'm on camera for the first time in a few years. My grandma actually encouraged me to do this, and we'll see if it sticks. But we are here to celebrate. I don't know. Oh boy. Yeah, folks, Rise of Skywalker. To me, it's just kind of like an interesting little experiment in pop culture that I don't really have too much of a stake in since I've never really been that much into Star Wars to begin with. So I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm curious how they're going to end it out. To other people, it's just a total slap on the face to George Lucas's dreams. And by other people, I mean Donovan Martin here in the chat. How you doing, Donovan? This is a solo podcast tonight, folks. For some reason, Dragon cannot join us. The StreamYard gods would not let him. Donovan is convinced it's a Disney Big Brother conspiracy, and honestly, I don't know. It is a little bit odd. The timing is a little bit odd on that. So, okay, so my honest to God thoughts. I just kind of want to go through my thoughts on the Disney Star Wars thing that we have going on here. Force Awakens, everybody loved it when it first came out, and I was probably in the initial crowd of people who's like, well, it's kind of a decently made movie. It's got a good, likable cast. It's got exciting action. But at the end of the day, it feels like basically a reboot of New Hope, which was that film's main criticism, and now what that film is basically known for. So Force Awakens has always been a film that I never jumped on the bandwagon of. Last Jedi! Tiki actually likes The Last Jedi for its stylistic merit. It's not really a Star Wars film, but Rian Johnson is a really good actor. And so, because he had a lot of interesting ideas that I could latch on to, the fact that it kind of spit in the face of canon didn't really bother me at all. Last Jedi, I actually liked it. What you gonna do? Last Jedi, it doesn't age well. I will admit that. But at the time, I thought it was cool. All right, my God. Donovan, how was that? Donovan, I wanted to break the news to you, because I don't know if you were around during the Last Jedi era. But yeah, I was a pretty big Last Jedi fan when it first came out, my friend. But that's the thing, is that I never really took Star Wars that seriously. And I don't say that as an insult to people that do take Star Wars seriously. I get it. I mean, I take a lot of things seriously. I take Disney parks incredibly seriously. But Star Wars has never really been that niche thing of mine that I've really cared about all the canon details. To me, it's like with Star Wars, I just want to see good visuals. I want to see a decent story, and I want to see some good acting. And honestly, the thing I did appreciate about The Last Jedi, even though it is a meme, is that Force Awakens was a reboot. Last Jedi did some shit differently. Can't deny that it did stuff differently. I know that people who hate The Last Jedi hate that argument, but that's kind of the argument I'll use to defend it. Donovan, I've been a fan of it. I mean, my earliest memories of Star Wars go back to that old making of VHS tape from Star Wars to Jedi, which chronicled the making of Star Wars New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and freshly released, hot out in cinemas, Return of the Jedi was clearly made in the mid-'80s. And man, that making of stuff with Return of the Jedi, seeing the footage of the puppets in Jabba's palace and the practical Sarlacc pit and all that stuff, that did give me a love of filmmaking, man. Almost as much as Jurassic Park did. So I do credit Star Wars, and I love Star Wars Land. I do, and I know Star Wars Land is as divisive as anything else. But all right, Donovan, I don't want to make this into a Last Jedi debate. I just want to let you know where I'm coming from on it. I admit there were a lot of sequences in Last Jedi that don't really age well in retrospect. One thing I always will defend is that I do like, generally speaking, outside of a few cringe moments that I will admit are there, I do think that Mark Hamill had an excellent performance in The Last Jedi. And I really don't understand what people like. To me, his archetype is fulfilled in The Last Jedi. It's like he's gone, I don't know. I thought it was very appropriate. And we haven't seen the last of Luke. We know we haven't seen the last of Luke. I also thought that Adam Driver really stepped up his game as Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi. As you guys might be aware of, I was really kind of anti-Kylo Ren during the Force Awakens era. I really didn't think he was that compelling. And what I found compelling about Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi is the same thing that I found compelling. I'm not saying that these two like match up in terms of like epic, iconic villains, but I'm saying like it kind of reminds me of the same sort of motive of like the Heath Ledger Joker, where Adam Driver's Kylo Ren is just kind of like a sad little puppy dog running around, chasing its tail, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows he wants power, but once he gets power, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. And honestly, I find that fragility fascinating. And that's one of the things about Rise of Skywalker I really dug. And say what you will about Snoke, but that throne room scene is fucking amazing. I love that throne room scene. I love the hyperspace into the Star Destroyer. That was fucking amazing. I love Luke and Yoda with the tree. That was a very mystical set piece. I'm sorry, Donovan. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of telling I will never, ever, ever defend anything from the Finn and Poe and what's her name? The Kelly Marie Tran character, Rose. I will never defend any of that. Benicio del Toro, they had an opportunity to really, really cast him in a really cool role in Star Wars, and they cast him as like the most cliche double crosser ever. I hated his role. I hated the whole Casino Planet. I'm with everyone else on that. The Casino Planet is basically a waste of time. Oh, man, but to me, there's so much that Last Jedi does right, specifically with the Rey, Kylo, and Luke stuff. The Rey, Kylo, and Luke stuff, to me, makes up for everything else in that movie. But we're not here to talk about The Last Jedi. We're here to talk about The Rise of Skywalker. I hope I didn't lose too many of you folks like this. Like I said, I don't take Star Wars that seriously. I don't view it as like it's like a politic game. I don't like playing Star Wars fandom that way. I just like to view it as subjectivity. I totally respect people who don't like Last Jedi because obviously I called out a lot of flaws about it myself. It's got a lot of silly shit in it that I'm not going to deny. But I like it for its own merits, man. I like it for its own merits. And that's my little soapbox on The Last Jedi for the evening. Anywho, so Rise of Skywalker. I think the Rise of Skywalker marketing has been shit so far. I really do. First trailer we got was just like Rey standing off against the TIE Fighter, which was admittedly a cool shot, but it went on for way too long. And then what we get for the rest of the trailer, just like quick little flashes, like, oh, look, it's C-3PO and Finn and Poe on a star speeder, and oh, it's Lando, ooh, and they're at yet another Death Star, but a crashed Death Star this time, and Palpatine's laugh, mwahahaha, spoilers, by the way. So I didn't really get that much out of the first trailer. The second trailer was even worse. Like, what even was that second trailer? It was just basically kind of like a montage of just, the best parts of better movies. And then just a quick splash of like, oh, and like switchblade lightsaber for the fanboys. Yeah, the marketing on this movie has not been good so far. It really hasn't. The 2 trailers we've gotten have both been really underwhelming. Donovan, I'm going to definitely shout this one out because I wholeheartedly agree. I like Rey well enough. I do. I've come around to her, and like I do think she is a little bit of a Mary Sue writing wise, but I do think at least she's got layers of personality on her that kind of supplement that. So that's my stance on Rey. But Ahsoka greater than Rey. Donovan, yeah, absolutely, I will agree. I want to see Ahsoka in one of these movies one of these days. Like I totally take an Ahsoka trilogy, honestly. So here we go with Rise of Skywalker trailer 3. Coincidentally enough, this is the first time I can remember where the thing didn't leak on YouTube hours beforehand. I actually had to go out into the living room and ask my grandparents, like, hey, you guys watching Monday Night Football? Sure enough, they were. Sure enough, it had just gone to halftime. And I was able to watch the Rise of Skywalker trailer with my grandpa, which was actually really cool because my grandpa used to run a Halloween store in my local town. And the cool thing about that is that he would always have like stormtrooper masks and Yoda masks and stuff like that. So my grandpa always has a nostalgia of Star Wars from like an iconography and business point of view. You know, like he always views Star Wars as like, oh, these things made me a lot of money back in the day. Anywho, Donovan saying rumor has it Ahsoka might show up in a Disney Plus show. I would like that. I would like that a lot for sure. Probably. I would imagine if she shows up in anything, it'd probably be Kenobi, right? That would make the most sense. Okay, anyways, guys, I'm going to release you from my handsome face, and I'm going to go ahead and screen share the trailer. We're going to go shot by shot into this puppy. All right, and actually, you're gonna let's do my face on the side. Let's do that. That's actually fun. I like that. Getting a little bit experimental with this thing tonight. Okay, so let me make sure my volume is muted. All right, let's do it. Okay, I got to admit, I do like this music. I do like that fade into the forest. The forest very much reminds me of Endor, so definitely getting some Return of the Jedi vibes right off the bat. Also, guys, I apologize. My, let me see if I can turn up the quality a little bit. My computer is just not meant to run high quality videos, so things might get a little laggy. Let's see how good that is. I'm doing a refresh. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we get that neat fade into the Lucasfilm. Okay, yeah, you see, guys, there's... Oh, man, I hate my computer for stuff like this. This is why I needed Dragon. Dragon had the better internet connection. Why, Disney? Why? I'll plug Galaxy's Edge for you, Disney. I love Galaxy's Edge. All right. Okay, let me do one more refresh on this puppy. Okay, Lucasfilm. Okay, we're not going to get good visual here. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, man. Fuck. Yeah, guys, this is, man, this is frustrating. Clearly, as you can see, my computer is lagging. Yeah, Donovan, Master Mouse denies you. Yeah, starting to feel that way, buddy. Um, Well, hold on. Got an idea. This is a little bit unconventional, but I could just pull it up on my phone. Why not, right? When in Rome. Okay, hold on, guys. Donovan, give me some talking points by all means. He says that that empty throne has to be Snoke's old throne. I'm calling it right now. I mean, I always saw it as Palp's old throne, and Palp is coming to reclaim the old throne. I mean, is that not how you saw it? Did you not see it as Palp? I don't know. Hey, you know what, Disney? You know what? I'm actually going to play the volume on it just to spite you. I know this is going to get copyright claimed anyways. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust the brightness. Okay, Donovan, what do you think of the forest setting? Does it give you Endor vibes like it does me? Let me ask you that much. Okay, I'm just going to admit again, I'm gonna call good trailer editing for what it is. Good trailer editing. I do like that we're having this whole narrative of all the characters coming together, old and new. So Lando, Threepio, Finn, Poe, Rey, presumably the ghosts of Leia and Luke, however the hell that's gonna work. Even Palp is getting in on the party. So I do really like that from an editing point of view, and I will admit I like the music. The music works for me. Okay, next. Fight if we beat them. People keep telling me they know me. No one does. That's a pretty typical Rey line right there. Okay, Raylo, hashtag Raylo. That is that moment was definitely for the Raylo fans out there. I know. Yeah, I don't. Well, Donovan, I could play you a certain meme clip from Grandma got run over by a reindeer to explain why Disney is bringing back Palpatine, and it has to do with needing to have money. Specifically, we've got to have money, and that's about the best explanation I can give to you for that. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hack this system yet. God damn it, Raylo sucks. Okay, here's my thing with Raylo. I don't necessarily buy the actual romance of it all, but I do like the interplay between like the dark side of the Force, light side of the Force, and how the Force is being manipulated in different ways with them around. I find that interesting. I agree. I agree that the romance side of it is a little unoriginal, but I do like that we're doing new things with the Force because of them. Okay, here's the throne you're talking about. Okay, what is... Hold on. Hold on. Sorry. God. Okay. What do you think of this shot with all the ships and the Falcon and everything? I think it looks pretty cool myself. Is it a little bit CG? Yeah, sure. But I think it does a good job at showing the scope. I'm just a fucking Star Wars apologist at this point. So coming together is your undoing. I do like the landscapes in this movie. I like that we have a lot of like waves mixed with deserts and forests. It looks very it looks like it's very spread out in dangerous locations. I like that there's a sense of danger to all these locations. And here we go.
What are you doing there, Threepio?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Oh my god, that's just like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 3PO is my favorite Star Wars character. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I made that decision long ago. I love 3PO. I love how he's in all the movies. I love how he has legitimately something to do plot-wise with most of them. I think he's an unsung hero. And I honestly think he's one of the characters in The Last Jedi that really didn't get tainted at all. He was in there doing his thing, being his 3PO self. You know, he was just chilling and being all scatterbrained and paranoid about the mission and, you know, being a double crosser and everything. And that's what 3PO is. I think that 3PO is going to be in a perfect world, in a world where this movie actually somehow comes together into something meaningful. I think 3PO might be the original trilogy character to bring the heart and soul of this thing together. I'm hoping for it, man. I'm crossing my fingers for it. Because I tell ya, that 3PO thing, that was a bonding moment for my grandpa and I. My grandpa, he doesn't know who Rey or Kylo or any of those people are. He knows who 3PO is. He knows who 3PO is. So, man, that's definitely a stall. I mean, to me, that was a more like that almost to the same level of like awesome trailer line as Chewie, we're home. It really is the whole like, I'm just taking one last look at my friends. Oh man. Donovan, I can definitely respect that ranking and props to you for putting C3PO at number 3, man. I can that's definitely a strong ranking for sure. Ahsoka is definitely a really good for sure. But yeah, 3PO is the original. He is. I love 3PO. So the more they do with 3PO in this movie, the better, I think. I want 3PO to really shine in this one. He's really dying or going evil. Yeah, we'll see how the red eyes play out. I think the red eyes is going to be a more of like a malfunction or glitch than evil 3PO. And honestly, I think the red eyes exist. It's kind of like the red arm. It's like, look, 3PO has a new design. And 3PO has been always one of the more toygenic characters in the Star Wars universe. I mean, let's not forget the prequel trilogy. It's like, hey, open face 3PO with all the wires and circuits. And then Attack of the Clones, you get silver-plated 3PO. Oh my god. And then when we're in Return of the Revenge of the Sith, it's classic 3PO again. He's gold. He's gold again, folks. So, yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'm terribly sorry for the shot by shot, guys. This is like clearly. Okay, I do like that shot of all the stormtroopers falling down the hallway as the Star Wars march is playing. I like that. Like in this desert stuff. That looks exciting. Again, I think the scale of this thing looks pretty good. I do like that shot of Raylo kind of working together.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
And I don't know, man. I mean, I think that moment worked too. I really do. I think that... Shut up. No, I don't want you on. I don't want you on anymore. Yeah. Bad. Where in the living hell are the Knights of Ren? That's a good question. We will see. The Knights of Ren might just get like killed off screen or something like that. Something ridiculous like what happened to the Kraken in between Pirates 2 and 3. It's just like, oh, they don't exist anymore. Kylo Ren killed them all in a fit of rage. That's honestly my best guess for the Knights of Ren. Donovan, I'm more positive on this than you are, man. I'm sorry. Look, do I think it's going to be a great movie? No. Do I think it's going to be like this great cinematic blockbuster that just brings the fandom back together and just makes us embrace Star Wars again as a collective society? No, I don't think that's going to happen. But do I think I'm going to enjoy this film at least on a surface level and come out and be like, yeah, that was some fun Star Wars stuff, and I got a little bit of the feels with Threepio. All I care about is Threepio. That's really all I care about. I'm telling you guys, I am going to be watching Threepio like a hawk in this movie because he is where my emotional attachment lies. All right. So yeah, Donovan, I think at the end of the day, like I said, you take this very seriously, and I respect you for that. Because obviously, I have my fandoms, like the Disney parks and stuff like that, where I am just very, very defensive over anything and everything that they do there. So I can understand. Nintendo's another thing where I'm just like, what are you doing, Nintendo, sometimes? But the fandom of Star Wars is something that I dip my toe into every once in a while. It's not something that I'm like wholly devoted to. And it's something where I honestly don't really care being the contrarian in liking The Last Jedi or being the contrarian and looking forward to this. Because to me, I don't know, it's like Star Wars has always been popcorn movies. I'm going to be like Martin Scorsese here, but I really don't necessarily think they've ever been high art. Were they game changers in the special effects industry? Abso-fucking-lutely they were. No doubt. But I mean, I don't know. Star Wars is just, it's like, I feel like the fandom is kind of the thing that's holding it back at this point. And what I mean by that is that I respect the fandom. I just wish it's kind of like politics, right? I mean, I don't want to directly compare it to politics, but it's generally the same idea where I don't like the fact that there have to be sides when it comes to Star Wars. That's my personal stance on it. That's what I believe in with the Star Wars fandom. I believe that you can have whatever the hell stance you want. And I will look down on a day where a young boy and a young girl can have a conversation about The Last Jedi, and one likes it and one hates it, and they're both civil to each other. All right, that was probably terribly racist on my end in retrospect. Oh, man. This is what happens when Tiki goes live with a webcam and no co-host, folks. I apologize to Dr. Martin Luther King there. Jesus Christ. But seriously, I it's without that stupid MLK reference, I do genuinely yearn for a time in the Star Wars fandom where we can all just get along and respect each other's beliefs. And Donovan, I'm not saying that you're specifically not doing that. I'm not trying to call you out or anything, buddy. You're being very civil in this discussion. Props to you for that. But you know that there's people out there that would just go ape shit on me if I said that I liked any facet of The Last Jedi. And props to you, Donovan, for just not instantly turning off this stream and unsubscribing over the Last Jedi thing. So, yes. All right, guys. Donovan, got any final thoughts here? Thank you guys for joining me on this rather impromptu stream. It's funny because the plans for the evening just went kind of belly up. We were going to do a trip report podcast on the Baltimore Comic-Con that Dragon attended this past weekend. And we were planning on covering this during movie memoirs probably late next week. But then Donovan specifically requested it, and I don't say no to my fans. I listen to my fans. I give my fans what they want. So we're here. But Dragon isn't here because of technical difficulties, and I couldn't stream the actual trailer for technical difficulties, so you guys had to see it through my phone, which was very, very shitty quality, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. I hope that my thoughts and my enthusiasm and my fandom got through, and my golly, my Jove, I really hope that we as a community of fans can live together in peace and harmony. That's all, folks. Have a good night.